On May 6, 2015, something changed for me significantly about my relationship with the union. I found an episode of The Naked Unicorn, a podcast out of Georgia. The episode was from October 2014, and in it, host Jason Sorotin interviews SAG-AFTRA Atlanta local president Rick Reitz. The interview is innocuous enough, but for someone like me, a trained actor who has not been acting when in the union, but been doing background work and stand-in work, it put new perspective on who I was to the union and whether this union really is interested in me. In the interview, which I've linked in full in the show notes, the SAG-AFTRA local president repeatedly characterizes the union. Here are some of the snippets from that interview that really hit home.
But when you want to make a motion picture, and I know that you're busy trying to turn out your own product now, is you're going to need stars. Without stars, you're not going to get distribution. And all the stars, with the exception of some reality people who sort of pop in and pop off the map real quickly, like the Real Housewives.
They're all SAG.
Well, if they want to be on the talk show circuit,
right,
they have to be. Here's the magic formula. You want to know what the magic formula at the end of the day is for stars?
Yes.
For them to qualify annually for insurance, individually, they're trying to make $15,000 a year. That's all it takes for an actor to qualify for insurance. $15,000 a year. To qualify for your family, $30,000 a year. And there are people, if you want a star, and you know that you're near their end of the year and they haven't done a film this year, offer them $30,000. They'll do it. Stars weigh in. It works. When Tom Hanks walks in and says, "I want XYZ," he kind of gets it.
Yeah.
And if he speaks on behalf of all of us and said, "This is fair," everyone goes, "Well, Tom Hanks said, yeah, it must be fair," kind of thing. That's how good he is.
And I think the bottom line is, if you want to do a major product with a major release, with a major chance of distribution, you're probably going to need SAG and AFTRA.
Well, at that level, you're going to need stars, and that means SAG-AFTRA.
Stars, 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 stars. After hearing that, I was seeing stars. But I wasn't seeing myself. Do listen to the interview in full if it interests you, and if you think I'm taking what he says out of context. After listening to that interview, I felt a bit icky, de-winded, punched in the gut, nauseated, and other demoralized feelings. Why am I in a union that is for the benefit of stars? Granted, leveraging access to stars means getting better working conditions for myself and better pay. I get that. But it doesn't mean getting access to me. I am not a star. My interview with Ricardo Lori in episode 7 helped me see that. I was fooling myself. So I stopped seeing myself that way. I was a worker, and I wasn't working. Surely I was doing jobs under union jurisdiction, but that's not the same as working. My acting is my work, and the union's rules were preventing me from getting that work. The Rick Reitz interview pushed me over the edge, making me see the union really isn't so much for me. If it were, then maybe Rick Reitz wouldn't have hammered the point about stars so hard. After hearing that interview, I started to see that it had just become a matter of time before I actually went financial core.